Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about something I just saw in an article in the Wall Street Journal titled Gyms Ditch Machines to Make Space for Free Weights. And I loved reading this. And here's a quote right here in the middle. There's no question that there's been a movement away from those pieces. Charles Huff, Vice President of Facilities for 24-Hour Fitness. In recent years, the 420 location chain has scaled back cardio and weight machines to 50% of floor space from about 66%, Mr. Huff says. The gym devotes the other half of floor space to free weights and functional training, which includes things like kettlebell swings and bodyweight exercises with TRX suspended straps. It has also expanded its studio group exercise classes. Now, here's the thing with a lot of this. What a lot of the commercial gyms have started to realize is that people have become more educated about fitness. And again, we can actually owe a lot of this to people like CrossFit. Starting to get movement and bodybuilding getting less hold of the community. Because truth be told, if you go out there and chat with people and you chat with family members of yours and everything else, I think you're going to find there are more people who are involved in either CrossFit or some sort of functional training movement. And I don't always agree with all aspects of this functional training movement. You're going to find more people involved in that than who do traditional bro stuff, particularly when you're talking about people who are established in life, have money, have afforded trainers, things like that. You're seeing the fitness profession itself realizing that maybe certain elements of these CrossFit stuff is right. All the free weights, the barbell training, the GBP work has way more value than machines. And the people you see holding on to machines are the bodybuilders. Now, that's been the interesting thing, is that you always look around and you look at memes and all this other nonsense. What do you see? You see bodybuilders making all these memes about how gay CrossFit is. And then if you actually talk to CrossFitters, because I have CrossFitters in my family, I have a family member who competed in the CrossFit Games. They make fun of bodybuilders. They actually accuse bodybuilders of being weak and pathetic, and they make fun of them. So just like bodybuilders make fun of CrossFit, CrossFitters actually make fun of bodybuilders. Now that's interesting. And I don't necessarily agree with everything that CrossFit does either, but this is what they've brought to the table. And here's the thing, gyms are starting to realize that more educated clients aren't interested in machine training anymore. They're not interested so much in machines. And now for me, because I go through a number of commercial gyms these days, I have a number of big package memberships. Because me being a fitness YouTuber, they're tax deductible, let's just be honest. So it behooves me to have these things allow me to have different locations. And one of the things I've noticed is that, yeah, absolutely 24-Hour Fitness definitely falls in this category, because I do have a nationwide membership with them and another big global gym. So what you find with them is that when you look in different areas, you can figure this out. In other words, if you go to a middle to lower income area, you see more machines, right? In the areas where people are less likely to be educated. When you go to any region, and I've visited probably, 15 different 24-hour fitnesses in the last year. What I've noticed there is that the more affluent the area, the higher the education level. In other words, when you go into the parking lot, the number of Audis, Mercedes, and BMWs you count as a percentage of vehicles in the parking lot, the more likely it's going to have 5 or more Olympic lifting platforms. When you go to the really poorer areas, you're going to see there's still machines and stuff in there. But again, you go to the slightly more affluent areas and you see a lot more squat racks. You see Olympic lifting platforms, bumper platforms, even really high-end plates. You've even seen calibrated plates in some of these commercial gyms if they're in a wealthy enough area. What they noted in these articles, the Business Insiders noted, is something that I've been saying for a while, that machines actually reduce value to the gym. In other words, machines are expensive. They're only there because they don't require any training. This was the nonsense that Arthur Jones brought to the training world. He created the idea of all these machines and standardized machines and everything, and I think it hurt the industry. I think it hurt the fitness world. But it allowed them to have equipment in a gym that requires no training to use, and therefore no instruction. Anyone could come in and use stuff, and you could have an employee who they pay minimum wage to show you how to circuit train on a machine, and bam, it spawned a whole gym industry. The problem you run into is the price tag on some of these pieces of equipment is just astronomical. For example, let's say you want to get two different types of rowing, a vertical and a horizontal pull for rowing or pull downs on these hammer strength machines. Then you want to get all three angles of the chest press. They're like $2,500 a piece, and you can sometimes find them on sale for the high 1800s. You're looking at least a $10,000 investment for these. You compare that, you can get a good rack. You can get a good power rack for a lot less. What about these multi-rack stations? Because you go into a lot of commercial gyms I'm seeing now, and I've seen at least 4 different gyms that have like the little cage setups to where you have 6 different cages that people can do overhead pressing, squatting, all this stuff in with chin-up bars all up above, just down a row and put rubber matting down. The cost of that is about the cost of 2 hammer strength machines, and you have 6 different workstations and platforms put in a space about the size of 2 hammer strength machines. And it allows people to do virtually every exercise they need to get into shape right there with free weights, with barbells. Again, the cost ratio is tremendously better with free weights. The floor space is more efficiently used. And here's the big kicker. People are more likely to hire trainers, and that's why you see so much of this in the more affluent areas. That's exactly why. People have money to hire trainers, and most people who've realized, because I've done basic research and realized that the big full body free weight movements give them the best fitness carryover, know that they probably need some instruction on it. They'll hire a trainer. All right, that brings money. That brings more money into the gym. They can sell more services, and people will make better progress as a result of that, because if you have a trainer who teaches you to power clean and squat and deadlift, you're going to make 5 times the progress you're going to make playing around on those machines. If you're just a regular person coming in wanting to get into shape, that's going to carry enormous dividends for you. And you're seeing trainers in these gyms actually coaching these things. I've noticed some of the gyms I go to recently, when I'm in these areas, I will bump into people who are the trainers there who are in there training themselves. They're power cleaning. They're deadlifting. They're doing beltless pause squats. They're doing push presses, power snatches. And these are the actual trainers. These are the people being hired. I see trainers teaching the barbell movements. All right, particularly when you go to some of the gyms that are in the more affluent areas, they're coaching people on this stuff. All right, this is an excellent move for the gym industry, because this gets you away from the meathead model to where you have a bunch of meathead bodybuilders who come in and they end up damaging equipment and breaking stuff and provide little value to the gym, to where now you draw in people who are serious about their goals. You'll draw in some competitive athletes. You'll draw in some people like that, which makes your gym look good, because you get over in those areas and there is someone over there deadlifting 500 or 600 pounds, overhead pressing 200 pounds for, on standing presses and things like that. The clientele notice and they're like, man, that guy's strong. Look, he trains in that area too. It's good for their business model to have a few competitive people in who are strong, and then the trainers teaching clients on these same exercises they see them over there doing and not getting hurt. That's the kicker. And it's allowing them to spend less money for what's on the floor, get far more versatility and use of their floor space, and it's allowing them to sell more personal training packages to clients. All right, this is really the way forward. This is the way forward with gyms. And same thing, go look at like Devin Palumbo. I've been looking at his pictures. Multiple power racks, squat racks, glute ham raise, a little green area. It looks like it's set up to push a prowler. All right, this is what you want to see in a gym, and this model is going to catch on, and the big commercial gyms are starting to realize this. And I think what you're going to see as this moves forward, they're realizing this is where you make the money. This is how you draw in quality clientele, and you get rid of the moron meatheads. And before long, I think that you're going to see machine training eventually relegated to the Planet Fitnesses of the world. In other words, Planet Fitness is where people go who can't afford anything more than a $10 a month gym, who aren't really serious about their goals and they want to be in that judgment-free zone. I think you're going to see the gyms for people who actually want to get results, who are willing to hire trainers, who are willing to put in some work. I think you're going to see everything going over to barbell work, free weights, kettlebells, GPP. That model that CrossFit started creating, the positive elements of it are carrying over into the industry as a whole. And I think this is what we're going to see. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.